Well, hello and welcome to Talking Leeds, a match reaction special with myself, Arron Marshall, and Gerry McNamee. Well, Gerry, it's good at the moment, isn't it? We scored from a corner, we beat Chris Wilder, and we won 2-0 and kept a clean sheet. We can't complain, can we, Gerry?
Well, we haven't scored in one corner, have we? We
Yeah,
run a run of one corner. It was a good night. I was a bit concerned going into this. Players coming back late, international breaks, team top of the table. I'll tell you what, there was only one team in that last night. We've played everybody basically, and other than points that we've given away ourselves, I don't. I mean, I don't want to tempt fate, but we've looked the best team in the league, and and somehow losing our two best midfielders has given us our two best midfielders because Rothwell and Tanaka last night were excellent. Although the guy sitting beside me said Rothwell was rubbish the whole way through the first half. He was saying Rothwell, I don't rate him at all. Nice too, and we were all looking at him. And he didn't come out second half, so I think he was drunk. But that was that was. I thought the whole team. I think the way we went about it, they never got a sniff. And we just looked in control the whole time. When we lost the ball, we got it back. Our passing was crisp and good. I had my usual quid on Pascal Struijk each way to score a goal, and I had 2-0, and I won £12.80 on the lottery last night. So it was a good night. I'm really good. Although tinged with sadness because my team in Ireland, Dundalk, got relegated last night, and our survival is on the line. So I was a bit sad, mixed feelings coming out, but no one cares about that. We're talking about Leeds, and great night, and scored from a corner. Jesus.
I know. Do you know? I was in a state of shock because I sit in the cot, and when I just because it was an awful ball really for Rothwell, and it just it wasn't great. No, it just and then bang! I thought, but it was just a state of shock really with Struijk. But it's great. You know, it was great. It really was.
I've just been watching the tail end of Sky, and they analysed the corner, and if you watched it, Firpo pulled someone one way, Struijk made the run round from the back. So I don't think it was an accident. I think that was a set piece that worked on. So when you looked at them landed the Giants, you know, then on their team, there's no point in bombing in and hoping for a header. And I think it was a well-worked corner, and I think there's something they probably worked on. It could have went miles over the bar, but yeah, great finish, Struijk banging in goals. I thought the whole team, I looked at their team and I thought Kiefer Moore, he's going to score. They got Hamer and O'Hare. I don't think Hamer and O'Hare, did they play? I didn't see him. I didn't see him the whole game. They got subbed. Kiefer Moore looks like the big lummox he is. Joe Rodon nailed on to get a booking last night, was in total control of him. Struijk just looks good. Bogle getting all the pressure from their fans. He worked really hard, and he was didn't do anything wrong. He did a lot right. Firpo was Firpo. He got a silly booking at the end, but no, he's an attacking genius. But Rothwell, I thought for me, Rothwell. Talk about him first. I thought his movement, his picking out passes, he cleared up, you know, not trying silly balls. If it wasn't on, he played it back, and he looked, you know, he was setting the tempo. And Tanaka, sometimes you don't notice him. He just does simple things really well, and then you'll see, oh, there he is, and he hits a pass. And I thought he got man of the match. Either one got man of the match, and we've lost Gru Evan Ampadu, and somehow. You know, two great players, but is this giving us our system that makes us the tempos a bit better? Don't forget Peru as well. He was okay, but you know, if you score a goal every game or do an assist like that, that's fair enough. And Natio Joseph, I thought it was a foul. I looked at it this morning. He was actually pulling the defender's shirt, but strength and power. A lad who's just scored a hat trick and wants to be out there. And you know, we got Dan James back, Solomon back. You know, we got about 70 million quid coming off that bench last night, and Pat Bamford, and it was Pat, and it was good. It was good all around, and we played all the top teams in a sense, and we've not looked second best to any of them.
Do you know, I'm glad you mentioned Rothwell because he really stood out to me last night because I was watching him and he was just everywhere. And for me, he was my man of the match was Rothwell because he was just everywhere, and the passing, and he was just in the way, you know, he just was just all over what you want from that kind of 8, kind of 6 kind of role. He was just everywhere. And for me, he was the man of the match. I'm glad for Tanaka as well, because from when I was sat, he looked like he was dropping into that back four, like in the Ampadu role.
Yeah.
Literally just pinning it left, right, and centre. It was just brilliant.
Yeah, but the movement, the passing was crisp and quicker. And it wasn't that they were both being defensive. They were moving around all the time and creating stuff. And while the first half 0-0, I suppose, did we create clear-cut chances? The keeper made a great save in the first half, but you always felt, even when we lost the ball, we were getting it back, and you always felt in control. The only worry is that you think we're going to get sucker punch. We've seen it so many times at Elland Road. We're going to get Blackburn last year. We got hit by a sucker punch, but once that second goal goes in, we're fine. I watched Chris Wilder interview at the end, and you just want him to be narked, but he just basically said, "Yeah, up against a better team. We weren't good enough. No shots on target. Leeds are quality, basically." I mean, he was dressed like my local bank manager, when used to have bank managers, and the fans picked up on that because they were saying Chris Wilder's a banker, which I thought was very clever of them. They really picked up on that, the fans. And I do like Chris Wilder. I don't know. I just I know he's a bit of an idiot, and some things he says at least, but I just thought he took it on the chin last night. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Chris Wilder. It was a good night, good atmosphere. Kaiser Chiefs finish off. And we can sit back and enjoy it today. And I've sort of worked it out. Burnley could go above us today, but we'll probably end the day in third at worst. And we're tucked in nicely. And you think a nice run of games coming up, winnable games, which means we're going to lose them all. Leeds anxiety will kick in, but winnable games. If we can continue the way we're going, and we're doing well, we're playing well, we're solid, and teams must look and think, Dan James and Solomon coming on, and it's the 65th, 70th minute. It must be so difficult for other teams. So we just got to keep this going. And as mentioned, Emelie, the ball came to him in the first seconds, and I thought, he's nearly missed it. But he didn't have much to do, but I think he took it across, he got his hand to another, and he was confident. And at the end, you see him celebrating with the team, and you think, I said to someone, we've had 2 weeks to ponder the Sunderland thing. We win tonight, it's forgotten about, and it's just was one of those things. And the unit is fine and everything else. But what's going to happen in the next few weeks? Possible injuries, but we've got a few suspensions. Joe Roden is going to get another book, and that's the worry is if we lose 2 or 3, especially at the back, because we're short in centre half. So that's the main things you take out of last night.
And the corner as well. We scored from a corner, 300 plus or whatever it is. It's unbelievable. I think there's a stat flying around on Twitter since the last time we scored from a corner. It was Gruev
scored straight from a corner at Plymouth in the cup, and Ampadu scored against Peterborough in the cup. I mean, I had a few score that was 200 and something, and then I saw on Johnny Cooper said it was 147. So we had it up to 165 last night until that one. So yeah, it was too many, way too many. So I thought, let's get 2 in a row. That would have been funny, but no.
Well, the floodgates will open for corners now, hopefully moving forward, because they've got it, they've scored from it. I don't know if you heard, there was a chance from the cup when we've scored from a corner, all that sort of stuff, and you just think, this is good. But Sheffield United, though, they didn't look anything special for me. They were unbeaten going into this, and they look quite poor. They have no threat whatsoever, and people are tipping them to finish second. I'm like, how? How are they? They're not that good, unless we were brilliant, which I think we were, but they just didn't offer anything whatsoever. A bit like Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley. It was a slip. We should have at least got a draw out of that. Portsmouth game was just mad, and that Sunderland game, we obviously should have won that. But Sheffield United, they've got a run of fixtures now that we've just had coming up, so that'll test their mettle. I wasn't impressed with Sunderland when I saw them last week. We were in total control until the madness, but we were fine. But it was a night. I mean, the start of the night, George Baldock. That's so sad. A young guy like that passing away, and that was so well observed. I loved the way that Sheffield. I think it was supposed to be in silence, but they obviously had a song, and that just was fervent, and the Leeds fans joined in. And then we hear the tragic news about Matt. I don't know if you heard about Matt Smith, our ex-strikers. son, 4-month-old, has passed away, which is Steve Bruce's grandson. And you just think, oh God, football, it's not like it doesn't matter, and it's just tragic. And I think football fans realize that, it's not the most important thing, but yeah, it concentrates the mind. But yeah, it was a good night at Elland Road. It's one of those nights we love.
It's under the lights. It's Friday night. We always seem to do well, don't we, on Friday nights under the lights?
Yeah.
It's good. But as you say, though, the Championship now, Gerry, is starting to settle down a little bit. What, we're 10 games in. Leeds look really dominant for me. You can tell why the bookies are still tipping them to win the bloody thing. And I think the run of games that we've had has been really tough. With Burnley, we've had Sunderland away. These lot, Sheffield United last night. We've had a really tough run of games. And the run of games coming up now, dare I say, is a little bit more favourable, isn't it, when you look at the quality of opposition? I know we've got Watford on Tuesday, who are in the top 6. But after that, who have we got? I think we've got Bristol, Plymouth and Millwall and QPR.
Bristol, Millwall, Plymouth, Luton, Swansea, Derby, Stoke. Yeah, but that's not too far ahead, but we got to go into every game with confidence. Just keep everybody on the pitch as much as we can, and we've got a strong bench. And who knows, we might have a couple of free agents coming in, and adds a bit.
What do you think? I'm really annoyed by this, Gerry. But we should not be fanning around looking for freebies when we've got an under-21s. We've got Charlie Crew, who's just busting to get to. Why can you not start him? Do we need a free agent? We don't need them.
No, I think you're right about. I said that something about Charlie Crew last night. He looks a decent player. At centre half is where I'd be worried, because Ampadu is obviously going to be the cover. Charlie Creswell's scoring goals for England under 21s. That's one I don't understand that we let him go. But that's the only worry, that we're really short. And if we were looking for someone just to come in and have cover, because sometimes a player can come in like that and just make that bit of difference. Although I do remember years ago we had I think Beckford and Kandal were suspended, and we brought in Wayne Andrews and the Dutch guy. You thought, oh my God, that's what we do. That was a different transfer system. But if we need to bring someone in, bring in a centre half. But we like signing players, don't we? Everybody likes seeing new face, a bit of excitement outside the transfer window. But in midfield, we're okay. But when Tanaka, he went under a heavy challenge last night, I thought, oh no. Willie got. I didn't mention Willie not until again buzzing around. He looked like he injured his shoulder early on, but he was
okay. Did, didn't he? Yeah.
Willie was good, and people seem surprised they subbed him. But that's the thing I said before. It's not subs, it's finishers. You got Dan James coming on at you running 100 miles an hour. That's 70th minute, finishing games. Solomon, although he didn't get involved in too much, he did start the move for the second goal. So he's we've seen him obviously. He's there, so it's that strength and depth. We get Ampadu and Gruev back, and probably in the January transfer window. We're talking about that already. It's still October. We got to get centre half cover in there, because we're really struggling there. I think if we lose either one, a striker.
What's happened with Max Warber? Is he still?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. I think he's. I think he said he's making decent progress. So he's obviously he's a centre half. He's there, but he's injured. I have a feeling he'll be okay on the 31st of December. But maybe I'm being unfair, but he's I don't think he's imminently back for the next couple of weeks by the sound of it. But we've got everybody back. Centre half would be the issue, because Joe Rodon last night just kept Moore in his pocket, and Moore's a big beast. He followed through at one stage on Firpo. Bit of a loose elbow, and Firpo wasn't too happy about that. But I had the discussion last night. If we'd signed Kiefer Moore last January, 5 or 6 extra goals from him might have got us up. But I looked at him last night and I thought, maybe I'm glad we didn't sign him this year. He looked well off the pitch. And Jamie Shacks played for them last night. He wasn't getting any pelters from the Leeds fans. We like Jamie Shacks. Great on the bleep test, but he must have thought, it's not a good return here. And it's good to beat Sheffield United, because we've had a few close games at Elland Road. Remember I think the last time we played them in the Championship, Pontus ended up in goals, and we lost 1-0 on a wet Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah.
And and you just worried that something like that. But no, they did impress me. Burnley, Sunderland, even West Brom, Norwich had a little spell, but we've weathered them all, and we've looked okay against them all. And I think by accident sometimes we're finding our formations. As I said with the midfielders, I was surprised Matteo when Joseph came on, and it wasn't straight for Pirro, but as he said, Aronson dropped. He must have been knackered. He's been all over the world this week, and so he dropped Pirro in, and it worked. So Brendan had a few chances, but there were difficult ones. One came quite high, just wasn't to be, But he buzzes around. Maybe still not physically strong, but he works hard. So, and he sometimes gets that ball. He does things. So definitely.
He's got that little bit of magic, hasn't he, Brendan?
Yeah, he's rehabilitated as well. Not even an issue now. He's rehabilitated. He's well in the team, and we can afford to rotate him. If he's had a busy week. But fair play to those lads. Brendan came off of playing. Was it Thursday morning from Mexico? Tanaka has he been in Japan, or was he?
He was in Saudi Arabia, I think. I don't know.
And pretty late call. Ridiculous having a game on a Friday night after those. It shouldn't happen, but hey, it's Sky. We could easily have changed that team around. And I looked and thought, oh, fair play. And those guys, I heard Dominic Nacchio was in the Air Lounge beforehand and talking about it, and he says, basically bollocks. You play international, but then you come back and you're paid for this. This is your job. Come back and do it. And you play for your club, and you should be honoured to play for your country, and go out and do it for your team. And I think we can safely say they did it last night, and I'm so pleased. Enjoy the weekend. I'm going to watch Soccer Saturday if my other half doesn't find jobs for me to do, which she will. And I'm just going to go. And if Burnley, I don't know who Burnley are playing. If they didn't win and we're second by the end of the day, I think tucked in. Everybody's looking at us and thinking they're the team. And,
the Championship, though, I was on about this with people who stand next to me, Gerry. The Championship looks a lot more open this year. I think the quality of the Premier League relegated teams who've been relegated, they're just not anywhere near. We've played Burnley and Sheffield United. They're just nowhere near the likes of, compared to last year, Leicester and Southampton. They're just nowhere near. I think the Championship is a lot more wide open this year, which I like as well. Also, need to mention, which Scooby D2 says there, Radabe was there as well. The chief.
He looks like he can still play. He looked fit enough, didn't he?
Yeah, it's always good to see him, and he always gets a warm reception, doesn't he, from the fans?
He's a legend, as they say, a legend. He's such a man, and I think he still holds the record of the only Leeds players who's ever been shot. Yeah, which is quite impressive. I think I did say that to someone last night, and I don't think they knew the story, and they did look at me as if to say you're mad. But good old Radaby.
He's done a lot of work for the club as well over this week as well, haven't you? Obviously with the EFL as well, which is great to hear as well.
He's a great ambassador, and just a legend when he was at the club, as I say again. So good to see him.
Good to see him. Well, Gerry, our weekends are set. We can sit back, relax, and wait till Tuesday as well for when we play Watford. But let's hope Leeds can finish, second this weekend, because it's, as you say, we're tucked in nicely. We need to, stay in and around this area, get to the next bloody set of internationals in November, and then that's it. The real season can kick in then, can't it, Gerry, after November?
You got a German manager. Everybody forgets you've just had an Irish manager as well, but everybody seems to have forgot that. I think it's a good appointment, but it'll be hilarious when it goes wrong in the end, I suppose. We won in Finland. I was over in Helsinki.
How was it?
Helsinki they've got a lot of bunkers over there, which is probably a lot to do with being so close to Russia. I wouldn't recommend it. It was nice, and we found a few okay bars who understood that don't price the fans out of it. I think it was about €6-7 for a pint, and it's a pretty I wouldn't recommend it for a weekend. It's a nice city, but nothing special. And
I think I saw you social. I think you found an Irish pub, didn't you?
Oh yeah, of course it did. There was one called the old. You go for the authentic foreign experience. The old Irish bar in Molly Malone's. Yeah. Of course. That's where you go. And we had a good time, and the Irish fans were happy. And it's a whole different experience watching international football in Ireland and then watching Leeds. So we get it. So And then I watch me hometown team, Dundalk, and we're relegated. So football is all about emotions, experiences, and ups and downs, and that's as the song says. So yeah, I'm going through it all, but as it stands, I'm going to enjoy today. I'm just going to watch every piece of footage that I can, and because when we lose, you don't want to know, do you? You watch a movie.
Yeah. Nice one. Cheers, Gerry. We will see you on the next one.
Come on.
Let's keep it going.